Good day, grade 7 students. Welcome to our online class. This is your subject, Social Studies, and your teacher here, Miss Michelle Joy. Class, before we proceed with our discussion this week, let's have a short recap or review of the last topic that we have discussed last week. So the topic that we have discussed last week is about Introduction to Lord Buddha's Life. Buddha, a spiritual teacher, born with the name Siddhartha Gautama. Buddha, meaning one who is awakened, was a teacher, philosopher, and spiritual leader who founded Buddhism. He is believed to have lived and taught around modern day Nepal and India from about the 6th to 4th centuries BC. Quick facts. Raised in opulent palace, grew up in seclusion, married Princess Yasodhara, meditated under Bodhi tree, preached the Dharma, and died in India. He once said, "Radiate boundless love towards the entire world, above, below, and across, unhindered, without ill will, without enmity." Class, our objectives of the lesson for this week are the following. First, students must be able to know about Lord Buddha's holy sites. And the second one, students must be able to know about the Four Noble Truths. So yes, our topic for this week will be Lord Buddha's holy sites and the Four Noble Truths. So class, our topics for this week are the following. Letter A, Lord Buddha's holy sites, and letter B, Four Noble Truths. But before we proceed with our discussion, let us read the words to learn so that we will have a better understanding of our topic. Please repeat after me so you can still practice your reading skills and speaking skills even if you're just at home. Number 1, sacred place. Number 2, birthplace. Number 3, enlightenment. Number 4, teachings. And number 5, nirvana. What do you mean by sacred place? When you say sacred place, class, it means sanctuary, altar, church, mausoleum, temple, chapel, holy place, sepulchre, sanctum, and grave. So in short, class, when you say sacred place, it is a place that is holy. It can be holy because of a religion or because of something happened in that place. Now let's proceed to the second word, birthplace. When you say birthplace, it means cradle, home, place of birth, place of origin, motherland, native land, homeland, origin, provenance, and fatherland. So when you say birthplace, it means the place of birth or the place of origin. Next, the third word, enlightenment. What is enlightenment? In Buddhism, they define enlightenment as the state of perfect wisdom. Ends the cycle of reincarnation. Goal of Buddhists. Buddha meditated for 49 days under Bodhi tree near Naranjara River to reach enlightenment. Next word, teachings. What do you mean by teachings? It means doctrine, doctrines, instructions, teaching, dogma, precepts, principles, creed, belief, or education. It can be teachings or about the doctrines or beliefs of a certain religion. Nirvana. When you say nirvana, it means a state of perfect peace, harmony, and happiness with the world, enlightenment.
The first noble truth of Buddhism is that suffering is an inescapable part of life. The legends say that when Gautama, who later became the Buddha, left his palace, he saw an old man, a diseased man, and a decaying corpse. He realized that our lives include struggle, anguish, and pain. The second noble truth is that this suffering stems from the greed, ignorance, and hatred that arises in our minds, our craving to avoid the difficulties life throws up. The third noble truth is that we can end all this if we can stop craving and respond differently. Doing so brings nirvana, or awakening, a state of complete wisdom and compassion for all beings. The fourth noble truth is the Buddha's recipe for achieving happiness, virtue, and eventually nirvana. It is the eightfold path of developing understanding, positive intentions, skillful speech, action and livelihood, making the right kind of effort, cultivating mindfulness, and mastering meditation. The Buddha compared his teachings to a raft that a man uses to cross a raging river. Once you've crossed the river using the raft, once you've understood the truth of life for yourself, there's no point in remaining attached to it.
Moving on, let us discuss Lord Buddha's holy sites. Please open your social studies book on page 95. So here are the 4 holy sites of Lord Buddha, and you will know why they are called the Lord Buddha's holy sites. So the first picture, this one is in Lumbini, Nepal. It is the birthplace of Lord Buddha. The second picture, Bodh Gaya in India. It is where Lord Buddha was enlightened under Bodhi tree near Naranchara River. The third picture we have here, Sarnath, India. It is here where Lord Buddha taught the first time about Buddhist teachings. And the last one, we have Kusinara, India, Nirvana of Lord Buddha, or the birthplace in which Lord Buddha died. So now, class, let us discuss about the 4 noble truths. Please open your book on social studies on page 96. So the first 4 noble truth is about suffering or dukkha. Life is suffering. People always have natural needs to fulfill. They get sick and old, and death is unavoidable. So class, the first teaching of the 4 noble truths is that life is suffering. The second one, cause of suffering or samudaya. Each suffering has its own cause. It's not an accident or bad luck. What goes around comes around. So class, the second one is cause of suffering. The first one, we already know that life is suffering. The second one, we must know what are the causes of suffering. Now class, the fourth noble truth is how to end suffering or nirodha. Suffering can be ended, and people need to find out how and go for it. So the first, the second, and the third one are related with each other because the first one tells us that life is suffering. The second one tells us that we have to find the cause of suffering. And the third one, now that we already knew what are the causes of suffering, we have to know how to end suffering. And the last one, practice to end suffering or magga. So this one, class, it tells us that we have ways how to end suffering, and these ways are the 8 noble paths. So class, it's time for me to give you activity. Please answer page 95 of your social studies book. Please take note. Take a picture of your social studies book, page 95, after answering the activity and upload it on the social studies album in your line group. Good luck and thank you so much. Class, we now come to the end of our discussion. If you have any question, comment, suggestion, or ideas, knowledge, opinion that you want to share in our class, please feel free to send me a message in our Google Classroom account, or you can call me or send me a message in my personal line account. Stay safe, everyone. Goodbye.